Hi, PPGBish Plays here. In this second video, I will be testing this game, Nioh 3, across all 6 monitors. If you haven't seen the first one before, I tested the game at 1080p, DLSS, DLAA, everything maxed out, and it was running fine at 60 FPS most of the time. Now we will be cranking up the resolution basically. So as you can see, I have the game stretched across all 6 monitors, and we are getting a fair experience really, knowing that I am using 4060 Ti 16 gigs. So if we go to options to check the visuals, here you can see for the monitor you can see 2, 4, 6, 7 dots, meaning I have 7 monitors, and I am stretching the game across 6 of them, as you can see, and the game is running on the first 4060 Ti 16 gigs. You can see that through the mem1 all versus game, where the VRAM usage is like 10,000. That's like 10 gigs already of VRAM being used by the game. And if we look at mem0, which is the second GPU, we can see that the game is not using the second GPU, 0 megabytes there. And GPU 1, that's 89, 60, 96, 91, and so forth. That's the utilization of the GPU by the game in other programs. And the other GPU, GPU 0, is only tasked with PhysX, and other programs are running on it as well. So going back to the specs here, 5950X, 128 gigs of RAM. Currently the game is using 7.5 gigs of RAM, and the rest being used by other programs, Firefox mainly, and the other browsers. So we have a total of 24 gigs of RAM being used now. And you can see the core clock and memory clock there and everything. So for the resolution, you can see the resolution here. I'm using the ultra wide 21 by 9, and that's 5120 by 2160. It's like a 4K resolution but in ultra wide mode. It's not 100% 6 monitors, so to be fair here, it's like 96% 6 monitors. The If I were to stretch it all the way from start to finish, from point A to point B, across the 6 monitors, that would be 5760. And as you can see, that's the only option I have here. That's the widest option I have here. Otherwise I would be going through like third-party programs to stretch the game across all 6 monitors, and I have to correct the HUD and everything. So anyways, we are using DLSS, but now I am using DLSS quality, which is like 65%. So the game is like shrinked 65% of this resolution, and then upscaled to fit the screen again. And here you can see I'm using FrameGen. As for the, of course, if I were to use FrameGen, I have to disable VSync. So here it says 120, so it can reach the 60 FPS mark. We go to, let's say, post effect. I showed this earlier in the first video. As you can see, I did not cheat in any of the other options. I have everything still maxed out. The only thing I changed was the DLSS. I dropped it down to quality and then I added frame generation. And as you can see, 10 gigs of VRAM being used so far. So let's do like a quick run. Remember, this is not like it's not as if I'm playing Sonic, for example, or high competitive games. This one needs concentration. You need to like fight the enemies in an intelligent way, try to evade them, or you will be killed instantly. As you can see, the trick I did to this guy, it was a one hit kill from above. You can sneak. If you are sneaking, you go behind him, one hit. There are other enemies that have like a shield, and it leaves them with like 5% health after that heavy strike. Let's do this guy again. As you can see, you have to really strategize in this game. So the fact that you have to change your playstyle if you compare it with high frame rate games, it kind of forgives the low FPS we are getting here. It's like I'm playing Death Stranding basically. You have to go slow and just enjoy the environment and everything. I'm like sitting behind the screen, like there is like 2 meters, around 2 meters behind me in the screen. I am recording this on the phone, so I'm staying like far away from the screen, and I'm using the controller with a long cable. So this is a bad experience for me, to be honest. I'm just doing this to like demonstrate the fact that the game is well optimized, and the fact that the game can run with an acceptable frame rate across this crazy resolution. Of course, if I were to sit, I would be sitting like let's say 100 centimeters or 50 centimeters between me and the monitors, and everything will look really big for me. I already fought these guys. I already fought these guys earlier and I got killed at the end, and I stopped the first video. So if you have seen the first video, this is where I stopped basically. I just changed the resolution to this crazy one, and then added the frame generation. In this area there are like... Did he see me? Oh, I forgot this guy. Yeah, I was supposed to shoot an arrow at his face and get an instant kill. That's what I did earlier. And there is one guy who is close to me. Yeah, he is coming here. There he is. It's hard to do it with the controller, and I am far away from the screen. Okay, I need to tread carefully with these guys. We have two enemies here, not just one. I recommend watching the first video if you finish this one, since I went in details through all the game configuration regarding the visuals and graphics and everything. So one thing about me, I play the game usually on the 1080p monitor, since my monitors are all 1080p, but I do play the game maxed out. I don't lower the graphics, never.
Huh? Right here.
I was supposed to do an instant kill, at least for the first guy who was sitting there. Sitting like this, recording is really hard.
There are too many of them. Without reinforcements, we're done for.
He did not see me. Okay, let's do an instant kill. That's how he killed me earlier. It was crazy.
Everything I had gone. Will there ever be peace in this world?
One thing I did not mention earlier is the fact that I have the game installed on an NVMe SSD, which is like an 8 TB one, and the game is around 113 gigs. So I have so many games, the recent ones mainly, and most of them surpass the 1 GB threshold. So the SSD is full right now, and I want to test the new games. So like I said, I'm just testing this game just to see how it performs across 6 monitors and in normal mode at 1080p. Then I will delete it and test the other games. So if you are into benchmarking and appreciating visuals and everything, great detail and all, I would suggest subscribing so you can keep an eye on the games I test.